This is James Held of the Cass Helder Show here on Box Nation. With me, I'm joined by the 8-stone, half-man, half-mayhem machine that is Prince Patel. How are you, Prince?
Forgot, aka 50 Shades of Brown, but I'm good. How about yourself?
What's happening, BDA family? This is the Boxing Clown Edition, episode 3. Now, as you can see, it's the Prince Patel episode. Now, if you don't know who Prince Patel is, he's a British fighter with Indian heritage. He thinks he's Prince Nassim Hamid, but he's more like the Prince of Bel-Air. I mean, he's an absolute fucking clown. For me, the biggest douchebag in British boxing by a country mile. I mean, there's just nothing I like about this man. He talks like Marcellus Wilder. You'd think he'd have multiple belts in the trophy cabinet, but he's got no. I mean, when you see his resume, and I'm going to show you it in a bit, it's fucking laughable. I don't know where they found these opponents, but if I had fought these guys, I'd go into hiding. I'd be embarrassed to show my face, but not this guy. I mean, this guy is a narcissist of the highest order, and it won't take you long to realise that he is a fucking piece of shit. And I don't mean to keep going on about how bad this guy is, but you'll see in the clips. I mean, he's the sort of guy, though, because he loves himself that much. You know, when he goes past a mirror, he just stops, and sticks his thumbs up and goes, looking good, feeling good, top man. You know he's one of them guys, isn't it? He's one of them guys that takes longer to do his hair than the missus when they're going out. You know, he's calling out Charlie Edwards, you know, like he's going to do this and do that to Charlie Edwards. They fought 6 times in the amateurs and he lost 5 of them against Charlie Edwards. So what is there to call out? Another ass whooping. This guy, you know, he walks around with his fucking... Oh, God, man. Let's just show you a clip, man. Ladies and gentlemen, sorry, I'm laughing, man. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll give you Prince Patel.
But could you understand, if I didn't know who you are...
You should know who I am!
Yeah, but maybe I should... Maybe I should know. If I didn't know who you are, yeah. Could you appreciate then why maybe...
I just feel like you're just like what everyone else has just done. Like, you jumped up to me after you saw a dominant performance. It's like the amount of girls that are probably going to be on me after that.
Hopefully.
Nah, they will be, believe me. You look like this, definitely.
Is that why you think I'm interviewing you now?
Most
because of your performance in the ring?
Most definitely. You saw a sexy Asian stud, super stud, abuse a man in a round. What was it, about 60 seconds?
Something like that.
60-second beat down. You saw glimpses of greatness. You saw the great one do what he does.
Well, you heard it here first, guys. Glimpses of greatness. I mean, if you actually see clips of the fight, I mean, that's if you can find one. I think there's a version that someone filmed on a fucking 2008 Motorola somewhere, because he's got no clear footage in most of his fights because he doesn't fight where there's any TV cameras. This guy, I mean, this was his debut. He's talking to Kugan like Kugan should know who he is. This was his debut, and you know the girls are going to jump on him because he beat. Hang on a sec. Let me just get the resume out. I'll tell you who he beat. He beat a guy called Patrick Kovac. At the Bethnal Green, he was 0-3. So look how he's talking. He's talking like he's just beat fucking Rungvisai or someone. I mean, this was the start of the feud between him and Kugan. I think Kugan refuses to interview him now. You know, Kugan doesn't like him at all, and you'll see in the future clips I'll show you why. But you know, this is a guy that makes his debut on IFL TV. And this is how he behaves, but that's not all of it. Wait till you hear this.
Jesus Christ. Alright, listen, I'm not going to give you any advice about anything, but one thing I will
Tell
say
Eddie
to you...
I'm coming for his boy.
Okay.
Tell Eddie.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to say before we... I mean, this is 9 minutes. This is the longest ever York Hall interview there's ever been.
You never met a fight like Lido Kugan, so it should be 9 minutes, because every minute represents every inch of living greatness that's hanging between the prince's legs. So,
my God, he's got 9 inches on his head. I know that. I mean, what a dickhead this guy is. And just when you think you couldn't get any lower, he goes on Box Nation and makes his debut there. Now he goes on with Steve Bunce and Barry Jones. Anyone that don't know who Barry Jones is, he's a former world champion Welsh guy who's the commentator on Box Nation. He does a lot of the work with Bunce. He's always there with the guy with the goatee, and he's a nice guy. And they've invited Prince Patel on the show after his second fight, because he went on after that interview I just showed you. He went on to hang on a sec. He went on to beat. Let me get the list up. Can't give you guys. He went on to beat Brett Fideau, who was 4-19. So this guy, his ego's getting even bigger now. You know, he's already beat Patrick Kovac. You know, now he's beat Brett Fideau, whatever his name is, 4-19. So he's got no business being on this show, but because obviously he's caused a stir with his interview with IFL TV, they've got him on. And obviously Barry Jones is the one not sitting next to him, but the one further on at the end on the left. And this is what he had to say about Barry Jones live on Box Nation on his debut. I mean, this guy.
To sing my own praises. But we now have a guest on the sofa who is taking that to a new level. We've got Barry, we've got Luke, now we've got unbeaten flyweight, Mr. Prince Patel. Hallelujah and screaming girls. Prince, first of all, welcome to the show. And some people have been critical of me for getting a guy on that's only had 2 fights. But in all fairness, you've talked yourself into the position by a bit of publicity, self-publicity. You're not shy at coming forward, are you?
No, I'm on this show because I'm the future of this industry, Barry. Not Barry, Steve.
Steve.
But yeah, I'm the future of this industry, and I draw ratings. People want to see me.
Even if they dislike you, they want to see you.
No, yeah, I don't really care if they dislike or like. People want to see me. Most importantly, they're just going to tune in to watch me.
Now, if they tune in to watch you get beat, how does that make you feel? So if you, when you walk into the ring...
They will be tuning in to watch me, because Prince Patel equals ratings. The facts don't lie. You look at any YouTube videos, you look at IFL, which is quite good, Kugan Cassius, James Holder. I break records. I'm there, people want to see me. I think Box Nation need to start showing me a bit more, because I am the future of this industry.
But would you admit that most people tune in to watch you get beat?
Yeah, but
they're still tuning in.
Yeah, that's the key thing, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to be in fights like Barry where no one wants to watch you and the crowd ain't even interested in you.
Barry had massive ratings. He brought down thousands.
But he's
from
not remembered.
Wales to watch him fight.
He's not really remembered though as a great champion. No one goes Barry Jones. Let's talk about Barry. He's an incredible fighter. He's a forgotten champion.
But he's in the record books. He won the same title that Oscar De La Hoya won.
He won it.
He won it on pay-per-view.
And he couldn't keep it. That's the key thing.
Well, he came up against a couple of things. He came up against a great fighter in the Brazilian, Celino Freitas. I mean, I don't know if you've done any research on Freitas. He's one of the best featherweights from the super feather and feathers and lightweights from the last 30 years.
But we're on about Barry. No one remembers him though.
I mean, how disrespectful can you get? I mean, this fucking bum is sitting there next to Barry Jones. You know, knocking his achievements. You know, this is a guy that won a world title. You know, this guy that's 2-0 is knocking his achievements, and he's doing it live on the studio. I mean, Barry Jones is a better man than me. I'll tell you that now, because he kept quiet. He just sat there smiling. He's a better man than me. But what a piece of shit Prince Patel is. I mean, he talks about these numbers and these figures, and you know, people want to see him. He's the future. You know. He's making out that all these numbers are flocking to him. Let me just show you quickly Prince Patel walking into the ring, and just look at the numbers. This is this attraction that he keeps talking about. I mean, all right, he's only had a few fights, but he's talking like he's doing Joshua numbers. So just let's have a quick look and see who's turning up for Prince Patel. That, my friends, is a half-empty York Hall in Bethnal Green, and I believe that venue holds 1,400 people. And it was a quarter full. So where are these numbers he keeps talking about? I mean, that's not Wembley Stadium he's walking into. That's the York Hall in Bethnal Green, and there's not a soul on the balcony. I mean, I could show you Journeyman that could fill that place. This guy, the numbers guy, you know, I just don't see where the numbers are, and I don't want to belittle a guy that's had one fight, but he's the one telling us about the numbers. I want him, you know, and that's the only clip I can really see of him showing the numbers properly, and there is no numbers. I mean, the guy's delusion has no boundaries. You know, and this guy, the way he talks, you'd think he'd go on to be an all-time great, the way he talks. But in his fourth fight, he goes on to get a draw with Juan Hinostroza, who's 3-5. I mean, how embarrassing is that? Talking the game, you know. This, because believe it or not, Chocolatito on Box Nation called out Prince Patel, said he wanted to knock his head off, and Prince Patel actually got a bit gassed over that. He got a bit gassed over that, and thinks because he's a draw, that's why Chocolatito called him out. But Chocolatito just wanted to fight him. He's willing to put his whole reputation on the line just to smash this guy's face in. That tells you everything about Prince Patel. But yeah, this guy's taught the fucking game, and he goes and draws in his fourth fight. Now he's gone on to, I think he's had 18 fights now. He's gone on to win the rest of them. But when I show you the resume and where he's been fighting, you're going to laugh. But let's just get on to this. There's a couple more clips. One more clip I want to show you with Kugan, and this was the last interview Kugan did with this guy, and I think this was the end of his tether sort of thing with Prince Patel. So let's just quickly have a look at this.
Do you just want to ask yourself the questions? Or do you just want to talk about what you think people find relevant, rather than me ask boring questions and, you know, stimulate your mind in this interview?
Give me a good question, Kugan. A good question.
Why did you mug Barry Jones off on Box Nation? A former world champion.
You know what?
Which I thought was very
okay, you know what? I feel bad. I feel bad about that, you know. I feel bad that he's a former world champion that nobody remembers. I feel bad about that. It's a shame. It's a shame. The pinnacle of the sport is to become a world champion. He was the
When you say people don't remember
he was the WBO world champion.
When you say
he was the
don't...
WBO world champion. I'm the WBO European champion. Yeah? I'm getting close to that. So every time people mugging me up before saying, oh, who's this guy? 2-0, it's nobody. I'm getting close to that. It's getting close to achieving what he's achieved. And I'm only 5% into my journey. The thing is, Barry's a good fighter. He was a very good fighter. But for him to not have earned the money he deserved to have earned, which he has been putting on Facebook saying he took a year and a half out of boxing to take a normal job so he could fund his career, which is what he said within, I think, the last 2 weeks himself, it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. I find it embarrassing. Obviously, he's a world-class fighter because he won a world title. But I don't think he financially made what he should have made, and I don't think he was remembered by the...
Yeah, but a lot of boxers don't make financially, even today, what they're meant to make. So that's neither here or there, really, with that, is it? That's your opinion about...
That's because nobody knows who he was. He was a world champion who could have walked out his house and no one would have known who he was. That's a shame. It's embarrassing. And I feel bad for him.
And that was the last time Kugan Cassius has interviewed Prince Patel. And you can see why. I mean, who'd want to be around that fucking piece of shit? He's an arsehole. And, you know, this guy went on to lose 3 promoters. I mean, he had Frank Warren on his side, and he lost Frank Warren because of his attitude and behaviour. He's unsellable when he talks like he does. I mean, you know, there's playing the bad guy and playing the arsehole. There's a difference. And, you know, no one can take to this guy. And he's lost promoter after promoter that have got rid of him. And now he's having to fight in Hungary and places like that against Scandinavian social workers and Hungarian fucking plumbers. And I'm just going to quickly show you his last few fights, because I don't want to talk about this guy no more. I think you get the idea. I mean, his last fight he fought in 2019, and the first... Well, he's fought the 30... He fought 4 days ago, and he fought Ronald Ramos in the Morrison's pub in Budapest. Oh yeah, you've read that right. In Morrison's pub in Budapest. And guess his fight before that, John Chua. He's got a decent record, John Chua, 16-1, but you just don't know. I mean, you just don't know who Chua has beat. But that fight was in the Morrison's pub in Budapest. You've got his fight before that, which was Julius Kizarawi, I think his name is, with the 29-5 record. That was at the Gregor Joseph School in Budapest. I mean, this is the numbers guy. Look where he's fighting. I mean, he actually got out of Hungary a few fights before. If you go down another few fights, he fought in the Olympic Sports Centre in Riga, which I think is Austria. I mean, this is where this guy has become a laughing stock. So that's why he is on the Boxing Clown edition, episode 3. Prince Patel. I'm out of here. Laters.